thanks to the team Marksmen and the advisory board, which had done splendid job, and all the friends in the audience. I was just thinking, how many people, usually if you move on the street, normal well-read people, but if you ask them about supply chains, I don't think people are even concerned, aware, or have any knowledge about the supply chain management, that this is a complete science in itself. And a science and of course an art as well, because art of managing people is as important as managing technology and science part of it. And there's not a product, there's not any product, any economy which is not dependent on supply chain. And if we look at the geo-strategical positioning of India, I heard Vandana when she said that in the aviation sector, India is best placed compared to other surrounding zones which have emerged over a period of time. And this is precisely what I have debated over the years, that look, it is Indian money, it is Indian hard work in terms of manpower, in terms of knowledge, that both UAE and on the east, the Singapore, and of course the Hong Kong has not been built completely by us, but we have a lot of diamond merchants sitting there who are of Indian origin. So our resources, both financial and material and human resource, are responsible for building many hubs of supply chain management. And unfortunately, we did not focus all this while. And we did not focus all this while on the supply chain management, not because we were not worthy of it, but because we were lacking in strategy. And that strategy and that planning is what the focus has sort of come back to. And I'm very happy that we have doubled our aero stations, we've doubled our number of carriers, etc., etc. So we are working, we are building, and of course skilled manpower is as important as the technology itself. And creating that hub is important, not only from the economic point of view, but self-sufficiency strategy point of view as well. The way geostrategy or geopolitics is moving, the strategy requires that we become self-reliant, more or less. I mean, you have an AI today which can predict the vulnerability of the countries, how deep it can get. And if somebody sitting thousands of kilometers away knows exactly how to hit India's vulnerability during COVID, for example. You didn't have cryogenic containers. We were producing oxygen in the eastern part of India, while somebody running Delhi at a local level was demanding 912 metric tons of oxygen, which is precisely the oxygen which the whole country needed pre-COVID across all the states. Now, if this is not exploiting vulnerability of a country, especially in a time of necessity, and we as country cannot come together to meet those requirements, will India exist as India? And do we want that vulnerability to take on better of us? And for managing all this, I think it is here that supply chain management comes in. And some things are seen, some things are unseen. So visibility of a supply chain also is an undoing to the supply chain. I'm saying something very strange, because conclaves are all about visibility also. When you're creating awareness, it's about visibility. When you're giving pat on the back to a supply chain manager, director of a company, you're saying thank you very much for crossing that barrier of just doing well and performing your duty, or crossing that barrier, I am doing well because India deserves better. So when you're recognizing such people, that means you're giving visibility and you're working on visibility, which is very essential tool of keeping people's morale, giving them morale boost, and creating good manpower and working on policy and privilege. But at the same time, in the supply chain management, other than the supplier and the consumer, rest of it, where it comes from, where it goes, who all are involved, is invisible. And that invisibility gives it a shield of protection also. Because many a times, those things need not be disclosed. I was very happy to meet somebody representing LEAP today and running that business, because I think one thing I want to correct in my country is keeping the country clean. I wish we all become tuned to Swachh Bharat and we become committed in our personal lives, personal spaces to Swachh Bharat. And in the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the biggest problem we face is the plastic mismanagement. I always say the organic mismanagement will give bad smell, will be very bad to the sight visibility, but it will automatically degrade itself, and we really don't need to manage the organic waste in that sense, because if it gets decomposed, it will become organic waste, which is good for the roads, which is good for the plants, which is generally okay to deal with. It's bad sight, but other than that, it is not polluting in that sense. But what is polluting and what is causing the biggest challenge to all of us is the plastic. And the supply chain management has most plastic waste generated because of the packaging material. And when we talk about supply chain, we talk about sustainability, we talk about costs, we talk about accounts, we talk about efficiency, and I also heard the gentleman talk about customer care, and customer is the God. So supplier to customer to efficiency to cost cutting is all the old way of thinking, but the new way is adding on to these verticals, the vertical of good labor practices, sustainability, environmental damage, water waste, recycling, reuse, and refurbish. And that is where agencies like LEAP come in, who are actually not letting you waste money or resource on packaging material. And I think even sustainability, from both environment point of view and from the sustainability for the sake of sustainability perspective, and recycling and reusing the crates, the wood, etc., becomes as important a part of the entire supply chain management. So if India has to become Viksit Bharat by 2047, we cannot do it until and unless we have efficient, accountable, sustainable supply chains for every product, right from resource management to the delivery, to the casting, to the making, to reaching in the hands of the customer. The supply chain, visible and more invisible, is the key. So thank you all for giving us that privilege to letting you know, and the kind of art, craft and science you deal yourself with, because people really don't scratch above the surface, and the surface is the producer is so and so, manufacturer, and here is the customer. So between manufacturer and customer, there are multiple layers where all of you play a very, very efficient role. And if India needs to succeed, the supply chain management needs to succeed, right from the ports to the farms to the airports to the train stations to the bicycles. Everybody needs to come together, and this is the real strength of this country. We all will come together for the sake of the nation and keep working wherever we are, whatever we do, big or small. We are part of this journey, and wish you all the very, very best. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.